Hi Beatles fans, pop pickers, people of the YouTube world and the VC and everybody else that's watching. Welcome to my latest little video. Before I start this video, I just want to say a quick mention to somebody. One of my viewers has kindly, just put that down there a bit. Yeah, one of my viewers has kindly sent me a surprise gift. So if you're watching, Terry Mann, thank you very much. He sent me this, look. If you can see that. Try not to get the glare off the light. These are actually pictures from Eye of the Storm 2023. So Terry went to Liverpool and actually walked around the gallery or whatever it is where this was. And he actually brought me this, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I was a bit overwhelmed when it came. You know, it just says, I've got a surprise gift for you, Dave, if you don't mind. As a thank you to the work you're doing on YouTube, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I really did. You know, it did shake me up a little bit that one of my viewers actually would go to the trouble of sending me something like this. It's amazing. You know, there's only like 3 photos on it, but it's really, really nice, isn't it? It is nice. I think he bought the photos and then put it in the frame himself. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's really, really nice. I've just got to find somewhere now to stick it on the wall. Put it on the wall. Running out of room in the music room. And he also went to Abbey Road Studios, and he bought me another gift. You know, I don't know what I've done to deserve all this. I really don't. Which is a magnet of the famous doors, look, to Abbey Road, or the famous door to Abbey Road Studios. You see that? Brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. So once again, thank you, Terry. I've never met him before. But yeah, it's really, really nice when somebody like gets in touch with you and just says, you know, I've got a surprise for you, and it's just like, you know, a gift as a thank you to the work you're doing on YouTube. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Still a bit like chuffed, is that the word? That somebody think about me when they're doing something for themselves, sort of thing. Yeah, so once again, thank you, Terry Mann. Right, a bit of a catch up, seeing as, you know, Beatles news is a bit slow, isn't it, at the minute? We've still got no official release date for either the Red and the Blue albums or the new Beatles song. The word is that this new Beatles albums, well, the remixed albums and the new song Old With Me will be, the release date's going to be in about 2 to 3 weeks, but they're thinking it's going to be actually released around about Christmas time, you know, end of November, beginning of December. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we, folks? We'll just have to wait and see on that one. As long as the single or the song is released, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I'm not too chuffed about, or I'm not really too bothered about the remixed Red and Blue albums. I will still buy them, don't get me wrong, but I'm quite happy with the original 1973 ones. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to make them into like 3 LPs each, what additional sort of like songs they're going to put on it. While we're here, I thought I'd give you a quick catch up on the last bunch of records that I got. I've had time to clean them all, and I've actually played them today. I did play them on my old Gerhard deck, which is here. I don't know if you can actually see it. This is my old Gerhard deck. So that is the sort of deck that these records would have originally been played on. It's a vintage 1960s deck. I was actually quite surprised when I played these. I've put them all on sleeves, and I've put a little bit on there. Sergeant Pepper, which was the one I was a bit like that about, wasn't I? Because it had got a nasty scratch on it. It actually plays fine. It plays a hell of a lot better than it looks, to be honest, which sounds stupid. And like I said it when I did the video the other week, original UK stereo copies of Sergeant Pepper, they're not impossible to get, but they are quite hard in some ways to find, because most people were still buying the mono ones in 1967. I have put it in a new sleeve, although it did have the original full sleeve, didn't it? The psychedelic sleeve. So yeah, it has cleaned up quite good, this one, and it did play nice. Yes, there was a little bit of hiss in it in places, but because it had a nasty scratch just there, you can see it even better now, can't you? Look, just there. See it? There. And it is actually quite feelable. I've cleaned it and it's actually made it feel worse than what it did before I cleaned it. So there must have been a load of dirt in it or something. But so I wasn't expecting this to play. Just played it. It actually sounds okay. Like I say, there is a few like bits of hissing or background noise or whatever you want to call it. No skips, no jumps. So it isn't acceptable to listen to. Okay, I won't be playing it every day, don't get me wrong, but because on this record deck, this old Gerhard deck, you can turn the bass up and lower the treble and things like that. So, you know, it just goes to prove that you don't need a fantastic hi-fi setup to enjoy something like that. Okay, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't play this on my project deck downstairs with an often cartridge on or anything like that, and I probably wouldn't play it on my Technics one up here, but I would play it on my Sony. But yeah, so it actually sounded really, really nice. Well, enjoyable, shall we say. It was enjoyable to listen to. The next one, folks, is the one that I got a bit excited about, wasn't it? Revolver. Again, I've cleaned it. I've put it in a new sleeve. And I actually thought that this was a stroke 1, didn't I? It's not. It's a stroke 2. It's stroke 2 on both sides of stroke 2. But it is actually very, very, very faint. And you've got to get it in the right light to see that it's a 2 and not a 1. But having said that, I've just played Tomorrow Never Knows, and to me it did sound a bit strange. Not how I remembered it being on the other revolvers, so I still don't know what mix of Tomorrow Never Knows it is. It probably is just the standard mix, but because I've played it on this vintage record on vintage equipment, I don't know if that's why it sounded a little bit different. It was very enjoyable to listen to, though. It really was enjoyable. Again, it has got a little bit of background noise in places. Nothing overwhelming. Nothing to spoil my enjoyment of listening to it. So yeah, although it's a stroke 2, not a stroke 1, I still think that's quite a good find, to be honest. Like I say, very, very enjoyable to listen to. Yes, I know some people who say, Dave, why have you bought these, you know, the battered up copies? Which, in all fairness, yeah, they are. But they're playable, and because I don't want to sound big-headed when I say this, but because I'm quite lucky, I've got a few like different decks and setups. So, but I think I've said this before in videos. But when I listen to my old mono Beatles records, I do prefer to listen to them on this old Gerhard deck because it's what there was basically made to be played on, with something like this. So if I played these on a newer system, they might not sound as good as what they do on that. So this was Beatles for Sale. What did I put on that one? Yeah, on the Revolver one, I put Revolver 1966 UK mono pressing, cover okay, record very good, plays with a little bit of surface noise but no skips or jumps. That's just for my own reference. On Sergeant Pepper, what did I put on that one? I put Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, original 1967 UK stereo pressing, record fair to good, which I'd say it is. I've put cover fair because the cover's got quite a bit of damage on it, but I've put it plays okay, which it did. So far, I'm quite happy with everything that I got. Then there was this one, Beat Was For Sale. Now, apart from it having a little bit of damage on the spine there, this actually did look really, really in nice condition, didn't it? Like I say, I've cleaned it and I've put it in another like inner sleeve, which is very similar to the one it had, to be honest. This is the outstanding one out of the three, I'd say. When I played this, bearing in mind I've played it on my old vintage Gerhard deck, actually sounded virtually like a new record, which makes me wonder why the sleeve isn't as good, in as good a condition as the record. I mean, don't get me wrong, this sleeve isn't that bad. I have seen worse, I've got worse, and to be honest, that, yeah, it is bad there, but you don't play the cover, do you? Some purists would say, well, I wouldn't even buy that. It's entirely up to you, isn't it? I think it depends on what sort of setup you've got, or what sort of deck you've got as well, because in all honesty, if you've got a deck with a cartridge that you've paid £200 or £300 for, which some people do, you probably wouldn't want to play this on it anyway. You'd want to have, you know, audiophile copies, which is okay. It's each to their own, isn't it? But I'm dead happy with them, to be honest. I did play the Twist and Shout EP on there as well, which again sounded really, really nice. I have had a little bit of a tidy up in the music room. Like I say, thank you very much to Terry Mann, for sending me that surprise gift. Also, thank you to each and every one of you that are subscribing to the channel. You know, it does mean a lot to me. I know in some ways I'm always going to be a smallish channel compared to some other channels. You know, I'm not going to have like 28,000 subscribers or anything like that. Well, and you never know, do you? Never say never, but I think I'm always going to be small compared to some other channels. That's what I'm saying, because record collecting in the Beatles is something you either like or you don't, do you? So it's not like doing vintage cars or, you know, things like that, you know. But then again, not everybody likes vintage cars, do they? So yeah, so thank you to everybody that is subscribed. Thank you to everybody that is leaving me likes and leaving me comments. I did have some really, really nice comments about those records. I had one person, which I sort of understand what he said, but it just made me think a bit, because he just says, well, I want to have paid £5 for them. And I'm thinking, but £10 for 3 albums, an EP, and some little magazine things, wasn't it? Now, to me, I think, in all honesty, I think that one's probably worth more than £10 on its own. Like I say, the cover's not brilliant, but it's not the worst cover I've ever seen for Beatles. So, to be honest, in the UK, if you ever see a 1960s version of this, 9 times out of 10, you know, the seam here will be split because of the construction of the cover. Again, the Revolver one, it might not be a stroke one, but it's still a playable copy. Yeah, it's not the best copy I've ever seen. Again, that's probably worth a tenner on its own. The Sergeant Pepper one, which was the worst one out of the lot, and actually plays okay, is that worth a tenner? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. The Twist and Shout EP is probably worth a tenner. And thanks to my mate Beatle Brad in America, those Beatles like little magazine things, some of them are worth quite a lot of money, to be honest. I didn't realise they was worth what they are. I even looked on eBay, and some of them go for more than £10 each. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but some of them do go for more than £10 each. So for saying I spent £10 on the whole little collection, I don't think I did too bad. I have got some other records that I've ordered, which might be here this week while I've got a couple of days off. They might not, so if they're here on time, they're here on time. If not, I'll do it for another video. I'm going to try and get the next instalment of the David Bowie, my David Bowie collection mini-series video done tomorrow, or maybe later today, but I think it's going to be tomorrow, so hopefully it will be posted tomorrow. Another shout out to my mate Beatley Tone. And if you're not subscribed to his channel, please think about it. Now he was showing this one, his latest video, the Beatles Mythology Volume 3. Now he's got volumes 2 and 3. I've got volumes 1 and 3. I can't remember if I've done a video on these or not, to be honest. But yeah, so that's just a shout out to Beatley Tone's Beatles channel. Like I say, if you've never watched his channel, watch it. It's a fantastic chap. He shows you some really nice records, usually a little story to go with it as well. He's a bit like me. I don't think he takes himself that seriously sometimes. It's, yeah, again, like me, what you see is what you get with him, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a positive way. You know, if he thinks something isn't that good, he'll say it's not that good, and if he thinks something's fab or gear, he'll say it is. Also check out Beatle Brad if you haven't checked him out. Also Rachel's Ghost. If you're watching, Rachel, I'm very sorry I haven't had time to like watch many of your videos just lately, with work and other sort of like commitments. But you know, I know you are one of the people that did champion me basically from the first year I did started my YouTube channel. So thank you very much, Rachel. And one day I will come on your thing, and you know, where you do it like a Zoom thing, don't you? But you will have to tell me how to do it, because I'm a bit thick basically where technology is concerned. I know how to do this, but like you like to like show people, don't you? And then like you'll have so many people all up at the same time. So I will come on your show one day, mate. But you know, you have got to like basically tell me how to do it. But again, if you're not subscribed to Rachel's Ghost, watch it. Fantastic podcast, I think they call him. His channel, I think it's more of a podcast. So it's live every day. You usually get it in the UK from around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I think they're based in Canada, so I think it's like early evening when they do them. It's not always about the Beatles. It's not even always about record collecting. It will start off with talking about records, but they usually drift off into something else. It will usually leave you with a smile on your face as well. Very enjoyable channel. Also check out Nick's Vinyl Butty. I think Nick's been on the VC for quite a while now. Well, I don't know. Again, brilliant bloke, very highly entertaining. Again, what you see is what you get with him. You know, he doesn't mince his words sometimes. He's just become a grandfather, by the way, so congratulations, Nick. That I honestly do think that Nick's Vinyl Butty is a channel that should have thousands of subscribers. I don't know what he's on at the minute. I think last time I looked he was on about 300, but he is a very entertaining but down to earth sort of guy. You know, so that's a few shout outs to some of the channels that have been helping me, especially Rachel's Ghost, because I know that he was one of the first to like promote me. Beatle Brad as well, he's promoted me. Beatleman69, I hope you're alright, mate, because I don't think you've posted out for a while, so I hope things are okay with you. Northern Revolutions is another one. Again, I think they're based in Canada. Vast collection of records, talks about everything from the Beatles up to sort of like modern day music. Again, it's one I haven't watched for a while, mainly due to my stupid shift patterns at the minute, so I'm having to like try, when I do get a few hours off, I like binge watch just one person, so I get up to date with them, if that makes sense. You know, so you know, I hope I've repaid their faith in me by just, you know, mentioning them. This is a nice thing about when you're on YouTube, or when you start a YouTube channel, especially if you've never done one before, you like that, you're sort of like really nervous, and you will make mistakes. Some people will tell you you've made mistakes. Other people will say, well, Dave, instead of doing it like that, why don't you try like this or something, you know. So 99% of the time the comments you get when you start will be positive comments. You know, I've always said I'm not here to be in competition with anybody. You know, I'm here for the love of the music. You know, it is 99% of the time it is the Beatles, but we are doing a mini series on David Bowie as well. And we've done other things on like the Specials and Adam and the Ants, the Rolling Stones and things like that. So you know, it is a record collector's channel as well as a Beatles channel. And that's going to be about it for today, I think. Yeah, so thank you once again to Terry Mann for my surprise gift. Excuse me, I've just had a drink of water. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing, leaving me comments and leaving me likes, and don't forget to check out the channels I've just mentioned and any other channels that you might come across. You know, everybody really does a YouTube channel for the love of it. Nobody's ever going to become a multi-millionaire out of doing a channel for YouTube. Well, I don't think they are anyway. You never know, I might be the first one to become a multi-millionaire by doing a YouTube channel, but I very much doubt it. And if you've got these, you tell me what you think about them, by the way. Like I say, I haven't got volume 2, but from what Beatley Tone was saying, volume 2, there's a hell of a lot of interviews on it. Well, on these there isn't. There is a few interviews on volume 1. That is the better. In all honesty, out of the two I've got, I think this is the best one, because this goes from 1966 to 1969. So basically, you know, from the start of Sergeant Pepper, and finishes with the White Album and, you know, the Get Back sessions and things like that. So yeah, some really interesting songs on that. So that is going to be it, folks. If you've liked this video, just do me a favour and just leave me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, just think about subscribing, because it is free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Nothing. Absolute zilch. Which is strange, because they call it subscription, really, isn't it? But it's not a subscription as such. So yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. So it's worth subscribing because it's free. And that's to any channel. I'm not just on about mine. Give some of these channels a go. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. I think you can unsubscribe, can't you? If you go to any of those channels which I've just mentioned and you subscribe, I don't think you will ever want to unsubscribe from them. They're all highly entertaining channels. I mean, I love them. So that's going to be it. It's actually quite a nice day in the UK today. In fact, it's too warm. Yeah, we're never happy, are we, in the UK? It's either chucking it down with rain and we're moaning, or it's too warm and we're moaning. It's because we're not used to heat in the UK, really. So yeah, it's like that sort of like stale heat, where if you just sit in the garden, you know, as soon as you sit down, you know, you're roasting basically. So hopefully the David Bowie mini-series, the next instalment of that, will be done tomorrow, hopefully posted tomorrow as well. So until then, peace, love and happiness. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. Remember, you are the beating Beatle Dave. I love you all, and until the next time, it's ta-da, bye bye, bye bye.